videos.com, and this one's about strumming patterns. I get asked an awful lot about different strumming patterns, and we tend to take it for granted that you would know this sort of thing, but I'm going to try and explain it as simply as I can. If we take one bar of music in common time, standard 4/4 notation, that's 4 beats to the bar, that would sound like this. The 4 beats would sound like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I was to strum that with the G chord held down, that's 2 measures of 4/4 time with a strum on each beat. Now, because there are 4 beats in a bar, we'll call those notes quarter notes. Now, if we were to half the length of those notes, we'd have 8 of them in the bar, and we could call those, you guessed it, 8th notes. And if we were to strum 8th notes, it would sound like this. Not very inspiring stuff, is it? Now, that's partly because I'm strumming down each time. If I changed it slightly and strummed down and then up on the 8th notes, it would sound like this. And I can see you're thinking, yeah, it's still not very exciting. Okay, well, let's make it slightly more exciting by adding in what we call a syncopation. Now, some people get very confused about a syncopation. Syncopation, if you think of it as adding a skip to the music, or a brightening up the beat, if you like. So instead of playing, what happens is there's a slight delay after the first beat, and it actually sounds like this. This is syncopated. That now starts to resemble music. So what I'm going to do is go through 10 different strum patterns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them are based on 4/4 time. That's 4 beats to the bar. And then 3 of them are based on 3/4 time, which is waltz time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I'll show you what we do with the 2/4 time, which is often used in country music, lively dance country music. So I'm going to go through each pattern individually, and for the sake of clarity all the way through, I'm going to use the same chords. I'm going to use a G chord, an E minor, a C. You may not be able to play that full C. If not, then this C will suffice, and don't bother with the 6th string. And a full D with the thumb over the top. So let's have a look at the strum patterns. The first one is, again, in 4/4 time, but this is one full measure of 8th notes. So guess what? There are 8 of them. The first one is a downbeat, the second one is an upbeat, and so on. Down and up, down and up, down and up. I'll do it through straight, and then I'll do it syncopated so that you spot the difference, and I'll repeat that for each one. So here's our first pattern, and this is 8 beats to the bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exciting. Let's now do it with the syncopation. So instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, we get it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that sounds a little bit better. The next pattern, we have 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and if you look at the screen now, you can see what that looks like. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we'll play that straight, and then we'll play it syncopated. Same chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's played straight. Now let's add in the syncopation. 1, 2, 3, 4. Starts to sound a little bit better, doesn't it? Okay, our third pattern, if you look again on the screen, you can see we have 1 single beat, 2 8th beats, a quarter beat and 2 8th beats, and that sounds like this. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And again syncopated. You can sometimes mix and match these throughout one single piece of song. Okay, the next one, you can see there we have 3 quarter beats and 2 eighth beats on the second beat there. So we have 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3, 4, which will sound like this, played straight. 1, 2, 3, 4. Syncopated. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one, strum pattern 5. You can see we have 2 quarter beats and 4 eighth beats to fill the bar. So that's 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and, which sounds like this straight. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, this time syncopated. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next pattern, pattern 6, you can see there we have, this is slightly complex, this one. We have a single beat, and then we have 2 eighth beats, and the second of those eighth beats stays on and joins on with the next of the eighth beats. So in other words, we don't play it, and then we have 3 eighth beats to follow. So that pattern will sound like this. 1, 2 and 4 and. 1, 2 and 4 and. So if we play it, it sounds like this. And then if we play it syncopated. We're now moving to 3/4 time, that's waltz time, that's 3 beats to the bar. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and you can see the first of the patterns there. We have a single beat, 2 half beats, and a single beat. So that's 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3. And if we play that, 1, 2, 3. And of course, we can syncopate in 3/4 time as well, and that will sound like this. 2, 3. The next strum, you can see it's just 3 straight beats, 3, and we still call them quarter notes, although there's only 3 of them in a bar. There are quarter notes, but 3 of them played, and that's just 3 straight strums. 1, 2, 3. No syncopation possible with that one because there are no upbeats, just downbeats. The next pattern, which is pattern strum number 9, you can see we have a single beat, 2 eighth beats and another 2 eighth beats. So that's 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and that will sound like this. 1, 2, 3. And again syncopated will sound like this. 1, 2, 3. And then finally we have a very simple strum there for 2/4 time. That's 2 beats to the bar. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And and of just a single pattern. We can play just 2 beats if we want to, but it's not very inspiring. So the one that I'm showing here, which is strum 10, is single beat and 2 8th beats. So a quarter beat and 2 8th beats, 1 and 2 halves. 1, 2. Twice there. We can syncopate that one. Doesn't excite it too much, but we can syncopate it like this. 1, 2. So there we go. Practice those different strum patterns, and as you're learning new pieces, simple pieces with 3 or 4 chords in, test out several of the different patterns, the strumming patterns, and see which one suits the piece best.